Assalamu alaikum Toronto and welcome to MaxJeff show another episode. Yesterday I mean जो हमारा शो हुआ काफी अच्छा फीडबैक आया उसके ऊपर we talk about Australian mindset, how they play cricket, how they brought up their own culture and different mindset as well. Plus, we also had a guest from England, Martin, who lives in Toronto as well. He also shared some good insight, like how English cricket developed in last 10 years or more than like 10, especially in last 5 to 6 years. So बहुत अच्छा शो रहा, बहुत अच्छे फीडबैक आए, अच्छे क्वेश्चंस आए. आई एम सॉरी कि मैं हर एक के क्वेश्चंस कल नहीं ले सका बिकॉज कन्वर्सेशन इतनी अच्छी चल रही थी कि बिल्कुल ही जो है मैं बिल्कुल शो के अंदर बिल्कुल आई वाज लाइक इन्वॉल्व इन इट. प्लस तो आज मैं जब शो स्टार्ट करूंगा आज वी गोना टॉक अबाउट डेफिनेटली यस tonight show it will be in a full English show as well because I have a guest as well who's from Australia and he lives in Canada. His name is Jeff. Definitely I'm gonna introduce him again. But before I start the show, I want to mention few things that we have a couple of sponsors. So मैं उनको बताना चाहूँगा. Our show is sponsored by your Honda guy, Mohammed Rameez. 416-569-7249. अगर आप इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट हैं, न्यू इमिग्रेंट हैं और वर्क वीजे पे हैं और डेफिनेटली अगर आप अपनी गाड़ी नहीं चाह रहे हैं, गाड़ी चेंज करना चाह रहे हैं, प्लीज टॉक टू एंड कॉन्टैक्ट रमीज, योर होंडा गाय, ही वर्क्स एट क्लासिक होंडा इन ब्रैम्पटन. 416-569-7249. हमारे दूसरे स्पॉन्सर हैं फैजान लॉ प्रोफेशनल कॉर्पोरेशन. आज वो हमारे साथ शो में भी हिस्सा होंगे तो डेफिनेटली वो बिल्कुल बताएंगे कि क्या उनकी लॉ फर्म कर रही है, हाउ ही इज हेल्पिंग द कम्युनिटी एज वेल इन मिसिसागा एंड स्पेशली जीटी एज वेल. फॉर फैजान लॉ प्रोफेशनल कॉर्पोरेशन, अ फुल सर्विसेज लॉ फर्म एक्सपेंडिंग आवर एक्टिविटीज बिकॉज यू मैटर टू अस. प्लीज कांटेक्ट करें फैजान को अगर कोई भी आपके लीगल इश्यूज आपको वांट टू टेक केयर ऑफ इट. 905-277-2555 और इनको आप ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं info@faizanlaw.com और इनकी प्लीज चेक हिज वेबसाइट एज वेल www.faizanlaw.com. और डेफिनेटली अभी वो शो में है तो और जरा चीजें डेफिनेटली वो बताएंगे. जो हमारे तीसरे शो के स्पॉन्सर हैं आरसेक स्पोर्ट्स. एज वी नो के सुल्तान भाई हम लोगों के रेगुलर पैनल्स में हैं. आज मैं भी उनसे चाहूँगा कि वो अब जरा बताएं कि हाउ इज हेल्पिंग मिसिसागा एंड जीटीए कम्युनिटी एज वेल. अगर आपको किसी किस्म की स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट स्पेशली क्रिकेट इक्विपमेंट की आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है, प्लीज कॉन्टैक्ट हिम 647-461-3110 and you can email him as well info@arseksports.com. Okay, let me introduce my today's panel. Oh, we have six guests. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Hi.
So before I start the show and talk about Sydney cricket test, I will ask Vajad Faizan since he's here. We always talking about Vajad Faizan, like how he's helping and he's part of Dolphins as well. So I want he will be like staying for the show as being an analyst and being asking questions to the regular panelists, Mr. Sajjad, Faizan, and Kapoor as well. Before I ask him to talk about cricket, Faizan, please talk about who you are and what's happening.
Thank you, Max. Before I go ahead and explain about what I do, I just want to thank you for initiating this project with Sports Fund. This is it's a new thing here in GTA, especially to the fact that cricket has been discussed on social media and it's going live on YouTube as well. So hats off to you for all your efforts and the way Sports Fund is managing it, first of all. After that, I'd like to explain a bit about myself. I am a lawyer, barrister, and solicitor in Ontario. We have our full service law firm, Faizan Law Professional Corporation, based in Mississauga. We are dealing with civil and criminal litigation, real estate and property law disputes, including landlord tenancy and residential tenancies right now, because this is a current topic, hot topic in the GTA industry market right now. Besides that, we offer wills and estate services. Immigration law. I have been an immigration lawyer for the last 8 years, so expanding more onto that in our firm. And finally, family law, along with notarization and other services. So that's a bit about myself, based in Mississauga. You can always get in touch, 905-277-2555. I'm available on my email as well, info@faizanlaw.com. And we have been associated with Dolphins for good 2 years now, and I've been playing cricket in GTA for about 7-8 years. So know all of those who are sitting here and have been part of the show before as well. So today we'll be helping Max Jeff with the questions that we'll ask the panel. Thank you, Max.
Yes, I also want to ask Sultan Bhai, can you please like briefly introduce about like how you helping the community GTA, especially Toronto and Mississauga?
Mhm. Yeah, thank you very much, Max, for giving me this opportunity to explain a little bit about Arsak Sports. It's a Canadian owned and operated cricket equipment and custom apparel company. We specialize in cricketing equipment, and I have been part with the cricket community in GTA for over 7 years now. And our ambition is not only to provide the quality equipment gear to all the players in GTA and pretty much in all North America, it's also to support our youth and talent, which comes out of the club level. And we are here to participate in any capacity that we come across, and looking forward for your support as well, because we are working together to help all the leagues, and we try our best to give back to cricket. So whatever I mean, this business basically operates in a way that whatever we earn, uh, part of it goes back to the GTA cricket in any form. So we're looking forward. You need any help with any cricket equipment or uniforms, repairs, knocking services for your equipment. We provide all of these services. So, and I am very happy to see pretty much all the faces here that I know I've part of and played with, especially Faizan. We It's been a long time. He got
Sure,
busy with his the law and all stuff, but it's good to see him. And thank you very much once again. We are based out of Mississauga,
sure.
Canada, and we'll be happy to assist and help in any way. Please contact us.
Before we start our show and talk about Sydney Cricket Test, I have quickly invited Mr. Rameez. Rameez, you are on mute right now. I want you to be like mention like what exactly you are doing right now and helping the community as well. And here is your Honda guy.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Max, for inviting me again. And so basically, I'm selling Honda cars. I'm actually at one of the largest volume dealer. My name is Rameez. I'm as an working as a financial and leasing consultant over there. And obviously, when we are new to the country, we get well, we're new to the credit into the country, and we face difficulties in getting our first initial loan approved in and car is something that we need right away as soon as we come in. And most of the times we've seen students are working part-time for delivery, for driving Uber and any other rideshare companies which actually assist them to afford their finances. So that's where my specialties come in. I actually am very good at getting them approved. People who are refugee protection holders in country, they're pretty much hesitant to go somewhere to apply for a loan, assuming that their visa status does not allow them to get a car. But yes, the good news is that they can get the cars as well. And obviously, my own community people had been a great support. I ended up as one of the finest salesperson in the year, which was my first year at Honda. So obviously, doing something right, something good that's helping my people around. So if you're looking for a Honda car, new, used, whatever, your Honda guys here always ready.
Thank you, Rameez. Thanks for joining and giving us like what you guys exactly doing. Thank you and take care, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mother. So I'll be watching your show, but I can't be part of it. I'm actually babysitting people.
No
Okay.
worries.
All right. Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night. Okay, so Jeff, what is happening in Sydney? Yesterday, when we talking about, we were like, we all were talking about like match is going to be draw, or maybe fifth day will be the important factor. What's your thought right now on fourth day before
Well,
that?
they just got a third wicket. I just saw that.
Yeah, Lavishan.
So that was a big key for him. Dropping Labuschagne in the second ball of the day was huge also. But a couple of runouts cost India, which is not their game. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like they could have really put the pressure on, and I just think they missed a trick yesterday. The Aussies bowled pretty well and held their catches too, and made some amazing runouts. Like the first run out was pretty good from the bowler, like off his sideways, right, and then the other one was just bad running. He didn't even put an effort in. I'm not sure about him. I just don't know whether his fitness is there. Like, he didn't look very fast out of the gate. So I know you guys talked about his bowling being a key today, but I'm not seeing it at the moment from Ashwin. I think Sajay getting injured cost him the test. I think,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
honest with you, that I think that's the difference. I think he was the difference in the test for India
sure.
winning and losing. And since he can't bowl, I don't think Ashwin's going to bring it. I know he got a wicket yesterday, but looking at his bowling, it's just not quite there. His line's not there. He's not bowling with the velocity or the vigor he normally bowls. That's just my opinion. It could be wrong, but I'm not sure. I think they missed a couple of tricks India yesterday and earlier this morning.
Sure. I want to welcome Aamir on the show as well. And Aamir, thanks for joining. What's your thought about it, buddy? What's the match is folding up right now? Because yesterday when we were talking about, you were so sure that I think a match is going to draw something like that. Or
No, I think I said Australia has the upper hand, and I think they are going to continue with that. Looks like they are going to ask, right now I think it's 425 runs lead, and I think they would probably are looking for 350. That would be a tough task for Team India, and I think they are two players who are injured. So I think Saha can bat for punt, but I don't know how they would have somebody bat. I think there's only one sub allowed. I think, right?
one sub allowed. Yeah,
So nine people will bat, and the way the pitch is going to be on the fifth day,
it will be.
it's going to be pretty hard.
Okay. Before we talk about fifth day and everything, I want Haris to talk about what exactly happened till third day, like how India batting, like maybe collapse. You can say that. I mean, Haris, share your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, in any test match, it's all about the consistency and winning the small moments. In the end, for both Shubman Gill and Pujara to get out right after getting the 50s and not able to convert from there has really, really put India on the back foot, especially with Pujara batting about 180 balls on there. It's just one of those where if you don't convert from your start going at that kind of pace, it just puts so much pressure on the rest of the team to be able to try to get back on that. And like you said, I mean, Jeff pointed out that Jadeja was the key. To me, he's always been the key. I've always, first of all, rated him as a better spinner than Ashwin. And especially in Australia, where your skid is going to be more dangerous than your capability to turn the ball big. Because Ashwin, in general, doesn't get as much off the pitch as he does as much going sideways, which Australia, on this pitch especially, is coming very slowly. It's easy to adjust to that. So in that sense, I mean, India is a bowler short, and frankly, they're a fielder and a batsman short. So it's going to be a really, really uphill battle for them. Australia is probably looking to bat to the end of the second session, get about a 375 lead, and India is going to have to bat for their lives.
Okay. Yes, Kasser, what do you think about like yesterday performance, like how Australian bowled it, they come back? I mean, even Pujara stayed on the wicket for so long, but they didn't allow him to score big runs, and plus now they are attacking it. So what do you think, like what happened on third day?
As we have seen throughout New Zealand Pakistan series, the staying on the wicket will not going to help the batting side until you score runs too. That's one thing. Second thing, as a bowler, as you guys know that I used to be a good bowler too. I would love to bowl, if it's a test match, I would love to bowl 6 balls to a one batsman. That's the key. For the batsman to get to the other end is the key. So if some batsman allows me to bowl 6 balls at him, I tell you 1, 2, 3, at least on fourth over, I will gonna get him. That's for sure. And Pujara, he made his 50. You can say he saved his spot, but that didn't help the cause. He was too slow. And because they lost the batting depth in right now, they don't have much depth in their batting side. That was I thought that was kind of foreseeable. We could see as Australian even they collapsed like 96 for about 7 wickets, 96 runs, and we were, I think whoever has a little bit of a cricketing brain could see that's coming. But again, the credit goes to the Australian bowlers. And the ball was unplayable. That's no doubt about it. The Pat Cummins ball to Pujara, He couldn't do
Yeah.
much better.
Correct.
So they kept coming. They kept coming. They didn't take off the foot from the right from this their pushing, and that was the key.
Sure.
And for now, for sure, as the Sultan said it too, as Hari said it, that it'll be on India's side to save the test. Whatever they do looks pretty hard. I think by tea on day fifth will be pretty
Uh,
much
yeah,
wine.
sir. We will talk about the end, like I think after half an hour. But let me talk. Let me take Sajad input on it. Sajad, I think when we were discussing yesterday, you said that if India want to save this test match, it means a draw test match. They have to bat and they have to take a lead of 50. But suddenly they were all out before, like 100 runs before, or maybe 140 runs before. So what do you think? Like they collapsed big time, or they got injured? Because I think Jadeja got injured while batting, and Pant got injured while batting. Do you think that was the factor?
I think that that definitely affects because when you're hurt, it's harder to bat. Also, those runouts really hurt them. But the
Yeah,
thing is that when Pujara applied this formula of blunting the Australian attack, he had other aggressive players playing around him, and it worked in his favor. Also, you notice how Kane Williamson he blunted the Pakistan attack in on a very difficult pitch, but then he made sure that his runs exploded later on. Like in that one day in the last session, they were going at like 4.5 and over. Here, Pujara got criticized by somebody who I hold in a very high esteem. Mark Waugh mentioned that that might have backfired. That they allowed the Australian bowlers to settle and figure out how to take not only his wicket but other people's wickets. But I have to say, Pujara got one delivery that seemed unplayable.
okay. Vajad Faizan, you following us the show, and I'm sure you following the Australia India series as well. What do you think? Like, what's happening in Sydney Test right now? Do you think that this match gonna have a decider or is gonna be draw?
Well, I would tend to agree with what Sajad has mentioned. And if you see the last 15 minutes of the close of play yesterday, you could see Australia asserting itself like its usual Australian style, right? The 2000 style we know of. And that took the gas out of the Indians. Especially yesterday, it was a forgetful day for the Indians. They had lost two players. They could not complete the day while they were batting on themselves. And then the Australians started to dominate with the boundaries. You see how Labuschagne was pulling Sani, and the way he was hitting the square cuts to the new boy they have, Siraj. I mean,
Siraj.
it took the steam out of it. So Ashwin did not have any support from the other end. That's why the partnership which he struck up in the first innings with Jadeja to put Australia below 400, that was not there. And I think it will be very difficult for the Indians to save this Test match from here on. They are
Sure.
too down in terms of their team, key player. If you see uh, and analyze the first 3 days, you can clearly see the Ravindra Jadeja factor that will be missing in the next 2 days now.
2 days
And
right now.
India capitalized on that factor to reduce Australia's lead or Australia's batting, and that is going to be missing in the final inning. So
Sure.
I don't see a way out for the Indians to save this Test match, except for the fact that if Pujara makes up for his first innings blunders and bats the way he did, put his guard down and save the day for Indians.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
in my opinion, there is 100% a result before tea. Somewhere around tomorrow, we will have a result.
Sure. Sultan, can you unmute yourself? And I mean, what went wrong for the Indian batting as compared to second Test match? What went wrong? I think you were mentioning about something about pitch yesterday. Can you like share that thought here as well?
Yeah, first off, I think India got unlucky with some runouts. That was a true class from Australia, especially the run out of Bumrah and or Vihari. Especially, that was a true class. And then there's two injuries. So now, like Haris was saying, they're missing a complete all rounder and a middle order good batsman. That is difficult for India. And they've been unlucky. Yes, the pitch. The thing is this: the way it was deteriorating. I mean, the bounce was uneven, especially when Australia started yesterday. You must have seen some of the balls stay so low, and some were getting unexpected bounce. And that is the ball. If you look at the ball that Pujara got out, he committed himself, and he was not expecting because he didn't get surprised with it. He thought it's going to stay low, but it bounced little more than expectation. That's how he got out. So that happens with this pitch, and that is over the time because these guys, especially Australian, they're very good controlling their length. So when they ball on the same length for over and over, the ball that portion of the pitch that gets a little soft, and the ball it tends to stay low. And if they go a little bit like feet or two behind and above that length, then of course you get a bounce. So that is a surprise factor. But key here, day 4 and 5 was not pace as much as the spin. So now India is on disadvantage because of Jadeja not being present. Yes, and the first inning, Jadeja was the key bowler. He took 4 wickets, but that was like day 2 pitch. But now it's a day 4 and 5 pitch. Now he would have been even more lethal. Yes, I still believe that Ashwin will still be, effective. But yeah, like Faizan was saying, is a good point that now he's not getting that partnership on the other end where he gets they get the pressure on both ends. So India cannot rely fully on the pacers. Though the key here is that all the pacers don't ball too full, but they try to just hit the ball a little harder on the surface, and that let the pitch do a little bit magic for them. So sure. India is in a very, very tough spot now. Here on, yes, like everybody's predicting pretty much by tomorrow, we'll have a very clear picture.
Sure.
Which end is
before I ask a few questions to Jeff, I want to take some comments live. I think Nighat Rafi, she's saying you people are struggling hard for cricket. Make a national team of Canada. Definitely, we are a bunch of 3 people. Or 8 people right now. I think we are missing a coach, so please do apply at sportsfan@gmail.com. Thank you. Farooq Siddiqui,
the coach.
Farooq bhai, he's a head of PCB. Okay. Farooq bhai, message for Aamir. Aamir, आपको टोपी किसने पहनाई? Please talk to him. Okay. Rameez, टोपी किसने पहनाई?
Oh, okay.
He's talking about his cap. Okay, so Mohammad Rameez, you're a Honda guy. He's saying very good batting lineup, and he's talking about, I think, India, but the temperament nowhere close to what Smith and Kane and even Virat has shown at times. Yes, Jeff. Jeff, first of all, I mean, before you give a comment on this, do you think like the yesterday is the batting failure of the India or those 3 runouts turned the game?
Yeah, well, they just got another wicket now. Smith's out, so
Wade is out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Wade.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
Wade.
thought I saw Smith, but yeah, like he's struggling, man. I don't know. I don't know. It depends how long the Aussies bat. It's I don't know. Like you said, someone said that, but the keeper's injured. I didn't think that you could sub in a keeper for a keeper, but I gather things have changed now.
Yeah,
right?
you can now. They changed the rule.
New rule.
Yeah.
I like. You know what? When you're doing a 5-day test, injuries can happen. I actually think it's a good thing that they're allowing this to happen now because, with being a player short, can you imagine India being 2 players short and they've got to sub someone in? At least there's a part of a game going to happen now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to go track on the bowling there. Like, do you think the Aussies were targeting his hands on that? Do you think he was deliberately short bowling him to get up into his hands? Like, I don't know. It was a pretty vicious ball, right? But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know about the batting. It could be.
Yeah, let's take Harris.
They were targeting his hands.
That's what I'm asking. Do you think they were?
That's how Aussies play, man. This is like they know they have to take the bull by their horn, right? So that's what they do.
Funny you should say that, Aamir. When I played cricket in Australia, there was a guy batting, and when I was young, I was pretty quick. I'm only a small guy. I'm only 5'6", but I had a lot of power in my upper shoulders. And this guy started chirping, and he was batting, and he was going to win the game for us. And I went up to the keeper, and I go, 3rd ball, I'm going to give him a throat ball right at the throat. And he goes, you want me to come up? I go, no, this will nearly kill him. He won't say a word after this. 3rd ball, I nearly hit him right here, and he was out in 2 overs after that, and we won the game. So you're right. I think the Aussies, if the throat's available, they'll take it, right? So.
Usually, as I said, it's not the ball that hit the player. It's the ball after it hits the player.
Yeah, exactly.
The next ball. That's why they do it. Yeah, that's why they do it.
Max, can I ask a question to the panelists? I
Yes,
think that'd be
please.
interesting. So, guys, do you think if because what I see from here, if India is able to have someone stand up in the bowling unit and take Australians by the horns, maybe restrict them to 315, 320, another 75, 80. Smith is the key now. Do you think India would go on and be confident that they can chase it in the final innings? For mind you, forget you not, India has been number one team in the last 6, 7 years. We have seen them; they've grown up. So, do you think without Kohli, without Jadeja, having that pressure, additional pressure, what do you think? Maybe they would try to take this as an opportunity rather than a missed chance.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Haris.
think, well, to me, it's very similar to back in the previous days when Sehwag used to open for India. That would, in many ways, determine exactly how they'd go about their fourth inning chases. Right, that
Correct.
capability to be able to put the opponent on the back foot. I see a little bit of that in Shubman Gill and how
Shubman.
he was
Oh
taking
yeah, of course.
back how much time he had when he's playing his shots there. So it's all about setting that tone early. If India can get to that same 70 for no loss situation they had in this previous innings here and not mess it up from there, anything can happen from that situation. But like you said, you're going in with one batsman less. You're going in with one good batsman less in Rishabh Pant as well. It's just a situation where you're just up against it. So that early tone has to be set. And as much as I don't like Rohit Sharma or trust him in Australia, he in many
Come
ways
on.
has to be the head of that because he's the most experienced bat, even if he's not experienced as much at the test level coming in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, Kasser, what do you think? Kasser, what do you think? Like what Faizan said, do you think India is capable enough right now? Mikey, I will take you in after 2 minutes. Give me a minute. Yes, Kasser.
Yesterday too, I said if Australia will be able to give a target 220 plus, that will be always difficult. And by looking at the whatever happened with their two player shot, and obviously two good player shot, good all rounder, anything above 220, 230 will not be likely in India's favor for sure.
It's already
Okay.
more than that.
248.
Mickey, thank you and welcome to the show, man. Okay, so finally we have some opinions from from Indian side as well. He belongs to
Thank you,
India, but
guys.
he
Thank
lives in
you.
Canada. So Mickey, we are talking about can India chase or can India is capable enough to bat on fifth day, whole fifth day?
मैंने कल परसों भी दोहराया था कि
Mickey,
any
Mickey,
score
Mickey.
हाँ जी
Today show is full of like we are doing in English show, so can because Jeff is here.
English okay perfect
Catch up more.
so yeah I mean
No, I want you to reply him because when he's talking about supporting India. So I want you to defend Australia here.
Yes,
Fight.
what are you talking about?
सही
Yeah.
सही सही
Right in the throat.
like what I said a couple days ago on I think day 2 that any target over 250 will be I think Australia will be in the game. So it's looking likely that Australia will take this test. That's what I think. We got to get Steve Smith out. He's on 48. Hopefully we get him out early. And I'm looking at a target of at least 350. That's what I think.
Sure. So, Sajjad, again, I ask a question from Jeff. Even you can answer it. Do you think the batting failure of India, even they're performing well, or the 3 runouts? Again, those 3 runouts, I think we never seen these kind of fieldings in Test matches. Do you think that factor changed the game?
I think that something was going on mentally. It didn't make sense that they would lose so many wickets to run out. In my opinion, they're not going to make the same mistakes in the second innings. Now, if they get Smith now, they just got Wade, and they can restrict them to a 350 target. I still think India has a chance, especially given the fact that they still have some good batting, and I also believe that they're not going to make the same mistakes in the second innings.
Sure. Aamir, I want you to answer this question. Mohammad Rafique he's saying, so I think India really missing Virat, especially when they are chasing in Sydney, chasing around, I'm sure, between 300 to 350 runs. Do you think?
Yeah, I think Virat, he's one of the top 3 batsmen in Test cricket, right? So you have Williamson, you have Smith, you have Virat Kohli. So definitely it's, he would have made a difference in the lineup, especially when you take out Pant and you take out Jadeja, who are 2 all-rounders. and he has the art to rotate the strike and keep the runs coming. Despite he's a different kind of player, so there is actually pressure on the opposition when he's playing, and we've seen that time in and time out. So I definitely think that India is missing him, but I think right now it's still I think they have the batsmen to actually draw the test match, but they're up against quality fast bowling from Pat Cummins, from Hazelwood, and even we talk about spinners, so Leon is there, so they're up against very quick bowling attack. So
Sure.
that's what it is.
Harris, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Who's going?
Yeah, so I just wanted to add one point here. See, 250 above is a chance. I mean, very good score to begin with, given it's a fifth day turf. The only thing here is India has resources to chase it down, but it all depends how they play towards it. I think Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma has to give a very strong established start. Otherwise, there's no chance because he has to pretty much Rohit Sharma has to play a little bit like a one day to make it happen. Otherwise, you cannot rely on Pujara or Vihari or in the middle. You don't have the power hitting of Pant, and at the end you don't have the power hitting of Jadeja. So it's up to these guys if they're gonna make it through.
I wanted
By the
to
way,
say something.
I think Pant is going to bat in the second innings.
Oh, you think
Oh,
he is?
Jadeja's not going to bat though. They're
But
going to
I
have
think coming to what you're saying about how Rohit Sharma might want to approach this, I remember one of my favorite memes out there was they showed Tendulkar first talking about how you have to bat a little sensibly, watch the wickets, see how things are going in a test match, and in one day you can go a little bit aggressive. And then the lower part it shows it shows, oh shoot, who was it? The guy Sehwag. He basically says in the one day I wear a blue shirt, in the test match I wear a white shirt, and that's probably what Rohit Sharma might want to do. Just bat the way he bats in one day internationals once he gets his eye in.
I think
Sure.
we
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
really be having this conversation if Virat Kohli was in the team and they're chasing 350. Like he's the aggressor or he's the calm maker of the team. He sets the tone for the whole batting lineup. Like if they're none for 80 and then now they're 1 for 80 and Kohli goes in, no one's going to say a word. They're going to chase it down. Or if they're 1 for 20 and Kohli goes in, he's going to grind it out. He's that type of player that changes a game on his own bat. I just think they're missing him a little bit. And if the other guys stand up, like you guys are saying, it could be a show, but it depends on what the target Australia puts, how many overs they give them to bat. That's going to be the key. Like, do they want to bowl 20 overs at them tonight and have 80 at them tomorrow, like so they can get a second new ball? I think that's probably their key. They want to have at least 20 at them today.
Yeah.
Sure.
Actually,
Before I move on, yeah, go ahead, Harris. Sorry, go ahead.
It's actually to ask Jeff. I know people have been talking about Steve Smith. Mickey said Steve Smith's the key out here. To me, Cameron Green's actually the key in all this because to me, after especially with the struggles of Tim Payne and the lower order going beyond that, not being much capable to be able to hit it around, Cameron Green, who's looking to really establish himself on the test level, has been kind of pinpointed as Australia's next big thing and has not really had that breakthrough performance yet. Kind of from an Australian perspective, how do you guys view Cameron Green? Where is it that he's really slotted to be for Australia? And I mean, what is his role now, considering the situation they're in?
You know what? He's got a couple of good deliveries that's got him out. He just had a good ball then, nearly got an edge. But I think they've got to persevere with him. Give him 5 or 6 tests like they did with, like we talked about Ponting, I think yesterday, and give him a chance to work out the game. Like Test cricket's the next level. Like they've tried all those other guys, Stonis and all them, and they've tried Wade. Wade failed again. I think put Green in Wade's batting position and give someone else, give another young blood a go. Like here's the opportunity to give young kids a go with some great senior players. I know Lavishan's doing great at 3 and Smith's doing great at 4. Maybe slot one of the young kids in the middle there and get to bat with Lavishan and Smith instead. Break them up and give them some experience. Like I know he's batting with Smith now, which is fantastic. But I think stick with them. You know, I like Wade's and all them have had their go. Move on. You know.
Mhm.
So
Jeff, I have a question. Just in case India, Australia goes to 350 lead by lunch, do you think they're going to declare? Do you think there's a chance?
well, what can they bowl in the last session? No, I think they'll probably bat for half an hour to 40 minutes, as they like to do, just to get the opening bat tired. Like I remember, was it the Sydney Test? They really wanted to bat after lunch, and they lost their wickets just before lunch. So the Indian openers went in, had a shower, had something to eat, refocused, and went out and batted really well. I don't think they want to do that again. Like, you know, I want them to field again and then rush off for 10 minutes, slam their pads on, and then rush out and try and build an innings. Like, I think that's where they want to be at. Like, so I don't know. Is it 15 overs at the end of the day, or Sultan? I'm not quite sure. Like, I think they'll bat after tea, and then declare. Like, what do you guys think? You think 350 is enough? 300?
Yeah, I will hold this topic for last 10 minutes of the show. For next 15 minutes, Dev, I have one question as well. But before I'm moving forward to that question, what you ask, I will ask one question. One of the very interesting question I just coming up. Kesar, I have a question for you. Why Ashwin is like not performing in this test match? I mean, we rated him very high, and we talked about him yesterday as well. No wicket. I mean, lack of good bowling first inning, even second inning, almost half done. What do you think? What is missing?
It it's always as we played cricket long of our lives, and it's always a problem for a mentality. I believe he was out of his comfort zone when he started to play at this test series. He started to came back. He performed a little bit, but all of a sudden, as soon as Jadeja performed, he felt like he's off, and that took all the fuel out of him. I believe that's my only explanation to his not up to the mark performance.
Sure. I have a one. I think people want to ask question. He wants to join my show. He's Nofil. Nickname is Nofi. He plays for in Mrs. Saga. I think he represent Eagle Club, right? Nofil, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. So Nofil, quickly introduce yourself and ask a question from the panel. You can ask anyone, or you can throw a question to everyone. Up to you, man.
Sure, sure. I think my question is more for Jeff. I guess you're Australian, so I just wanted to ask you, what are the I guess from Australian perspective, what are the challenges that are being faced by Australian cricket team, especially the test side, and how do you see Steve Smith's role like now that he's evolved as a player and he's not I guess he's not a captain anymore, but he's still the leader in the I guess in the dressing room. So how do you see him and Tim Payne getting along and Smith, I guess, training and
Yeah. To be honest, I think Steve Smith just does what Steve Smith does. I think I don't know. I'm not in the dressing room with him, but if you just watch the way he is, I think he just goes and does whatever he wants. Like Shane Warne used to do whatever he wanted because Shane Warne was Shane Warne. But I don't think Steve Smith's that type of guy. But he takes his time or does what he needs to do to prepare. But from what I see when he's at first slip, him and Payne seem to talk. And, I think Payne's the guy that takes everyone's opinions. Like, yesterday you heard Wade saying something to him and then Payne did it. I think he's a good captain to listen to his teammates and he's a good captain to lead how he wants to lead. But if someone's got a good suggestion, he won't go, screw you, I'm the captain. Like, have you ever watched Alan Border? They showed the clip last test and he virtually told Catsville, which I think it was, to go F himself pretty well because he was the captain. Of course, tests evolve now. So I think Steve Smith as non-captain is a better player. And I think Australia's team is not stable as it could be. I think they're still struggling in the middle order there. And we just talked about giving Green a bit more of an opportunity. I think they're struggling to a 4 or 5. I don't think it's there in Australia at the moment.
Sure.
I want to add on something right here.
Yes.
As we talked about yesterday too, as Smith being a captain is more productive or as a player. I just want to touch base that nowadays the cricket is so developed. We have so much analysis and so much apps and all the technologies available. and most of the team, the think tanks are very concerned and they are very methodical. They judge the player as by productivity in what role, and I believe they are very much happy with Steven Smith more productive as a player than anything else.
Sure. I think, Nofil, thanks for joining. I want Wajahat Faizan quickly, quickly a note on Steve Smith's role in this second inning of Australia on 4th day. What is role right now? Okay, thanks, Nofil.
First of all, I'd like to totally agree with what Kessler is saying because that enhances Steve Smith's value to the team. He's somebody who's Brian Lara used to be for the West Indies at that point in time when the Windies were going down. So Australia is rebuilding, and they're rebuilding their team around him. You asked about his role for day four. You can very much see Cameron Green is playing the holding hand, and Steve Smith is going for the fast runs. He's not worried about taking any shots right now. So what Jeff is pointing out that Australian thought process is exactly what he is trying to lay out for us here. That Australia would bat for 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes after tea, because you have 41 overs to do after tea. So even if they bat for 15, 20 minutes, that will take away 7, 8 overs and then bring the tired legs of the Indians come back to back bat again and not give them that break in the tea, the persistent break in the tea to sit back and enjoy and wait and see what comes up for the Indians to pick forward. Also, another point which Sajad also pointed out is how much do you want to ball at the Indians? Because Australians have seen it in the last two test matches, first one and this one, that Indians, if they are going for a rollout, it could be by 65, 70th over, you would know where you stand in terms of the batting team on day 5, day 4, day 5. So 70, I'm certain that Jeff also pointed out two new balls, but Australia would be looking at about 100 to 120 overs to ball at the Indians and see where they take it from there. So 320 to 375.
Wait. We will come on to this. I want quickly everyone answer this question. Adnan Thanvi asked a question: How much lead is the safe total for, or he meant how much runs are safe for Australia for this test match? Quickly, a number from Sultan, Haris, Jeff, Rajat, like from the top. Quickly, a number for this question.
Anything above 300 is safe for them.
Yes, Haris.
Oh, this is already safe right now. It's already safe.
You even thinking like 250 is safe?
Already safe. Yep.
We will talk about like in 5 minutes on so on that. Yes, Jeff.
I think 350 because if they try to just bat it out, they won't be able to.
Yeah. Mickey.
I'm going 350 again. Going with Jeff.
Okay. Yes, Aamir.
It's going to be 350. I think anything less than that, it's chaseable or can be achieved by Indian batsmen.
Okay.
From Australian point of view, 350 for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with them, and the reason is 350 is a little safer is if you get a couple of decent partnerships close to 100, and a couple of chippy partnerships, you've got the runs. If you score anything less than 300,
Sorry to jump in. Saji's right. I think any team in the world, you would guarantee them not to get 350, but India is a team that could chase 350 down. Like you have a look at their T20s and their 50 over matches. Like they just take it as a 50 over match. They could win the game. Yeah. They're
Sure.
a team, the only team in the world I think that can do that.
Okay, so Jeff, before we hold this, there's a
Jeff, I would say 380. Australia has that on their mind, and they are playing with that 380 mentality. If you look at how quickly Steve Smith is playing right now, also to the fact it will certainly come down to how Rohit Sharma and Gill start off the Indian innings. First 7 overs, you would see whether India is off for it or India has given its guard down.
Yeah, I think Rohit Sharma is the key.
But you must remember, you don't want to eat up too many overs as well because
okay.
You want to give them at least 120. Like you said earlier, even
100.
if they go quick runs, they might lose some wickets.
Yeah.
So they're gonna play it safe. I think between 320 to 330. 350 even, that would be a safe target for me.
Sure. I would, for next 3 minutes, I will go off track. I will talk about general things. There is a question for Jeff, specifically from Ovais Khan. Hi, Jeff. He's from Pakistan. My question for you is, what is the reason why Australia not playing like they don't show any mercy like they used to do for a couple of years?
I think because the game's changed. Actually, I was going to bring that up last night. Like, do you remember who was it? I think one of the guys got hit in the stomach. One of the Aussies got
Pan.
hit in the stomach. I think it
Oh,
was Finch. Guys, remember
okay.
that?
Yeah.
And the Indians came up and joked with him and had a lot of fun with it. And that's from the IPL and that's from the Big Bash. I think all the players are starting to become really good friends and teammates, but still want to win a Test series to say, "Hey, we're better than you." And that's why that's gone out of the game because they're all buddies. They all and I think it's more respect to the game now. Like the guys make good money, and everyone respects each other as a professional cricket player. Years ago, that wasn't the case because there was no money around. It wasn't a job. It was part of your job, and you had to work as well. Now everyone respects everyone as a player, and that's why all that's changed. Like I love watching that stuff when they have a bit of a joke with each other, and it's harmless. It's not racist. Like you heard about that comment, the guy in the crowd. That guy should be banned for life. There's
Correct.
no need for that anymore. You know.
Okay. Sajjad, I want you to answer this. Wes Khan is asking what we are looking is Australia not playing at its best. I mean, I won't just give you like a background and to support this question. Let's start from Alan Border, Mark Taylor, Steve Waugh, Ricky Ponting, and now Tim Payne. I'm not like mentioning Steve in there because he was there and the Aaron Finch as well. Do you
But
think like Australia why is not playing at its best? I gave you the hint as well.
you missed Michael Clark. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So uh, I think you have to give credit to India. I think Australia wants to play at their best, but sometimes the opposition knows how to respond. Like we have to give credit where it's due. And I think when Mickey was on the panel a couple of days ago, some of the young commentators, the young men from India, mentioned that this is something to do with IPL. There used to be a time where when Indian players, Pakistani players would go for the first time to Australia, and the lights were just too bright. Just to give you an analogy or using a metaphor, and also I do also think that they're still coming out of the scandal, the sandpaper scandal. They want to have a new image. I think that also played a part in this as well, because Australia, they were so ruthless. They actually had a situation where Miyadad wanted to hit Dennis Lilly with a bat. I don't know if you guys remember that,
Yes. Yes.
right? And that was sort of how they played. I remember playing because they didn't have enough players. A bunch of nurses were touring Pakistan, and they said we need another player, and they offered me to play, and I played on their team. And I remember I ran, and the lady, she screamed at me. She said, "Go back in your hole!" Like the the trash talking. This is a woman who's a nurse touring Pakistan to volunteer on a humanitarian mission. But when she's playing cricket, she's sledging me, "Go back in your hole," right? This is unheard of in a friendly game in Pakistan. And so that whole mental disintegration that Steve Watt talks about, I think they've gone away from that. And I think that's affected the way they dominate teams because they used to mentally destroy teams. I remember Basit Ali, who was a pure beauty to watch, but just by having a fake conversation in front of him, they destroyed his batting and he got balled behind his legs. Like there were little things that they used to do which they don't do anymore. And I believe the sandpaper scandal also has a role in that.
Sure.
I want
I
to
want to.
I just want
Yes.
to
Yes.
jump in here to Sajad's question. Sajad, do you think what Manas Labusha, if you see the Instagram and social media post, what he did with Rohit Sharma yesterday, do you think it's a part of the strategy to get that going? One person takes the lead forward.
Yes,
How
yes,
do you
it
look
is.
at that?
It is, but he's awful at it. Like when he's going that so low, yeah.
You think he's too soft?
I sledge the way he sledge. Like every time I'd play Ramblers or I'd play any of these clubs, I'd always say, "Hey, I want to play for your team next year." That was my sledging until they figured out that I was just lying.
Line. Farooq bhai, welcome to the show. I want to welcome you with this question. Rule 101, India is done in this game. Yes, Mohammad Rameez Rafique, your Honda guy is asking a question to you.
Uh, hey guys, sorry I am late. I was delivering some food in Whitby. Just came back from there. So,
I didn't get any on my doorstep, so you went to the wrong house.
what part of Whitby you were?
Oh,
Even
can't
Najak.
say that on the air. Okay?
Watch if there's any ginger ale.
Anyhow, good to see you guys, everyone.
Good to see you, mate.
Haris, looks like you're more interested in Australia game than our program, man.
You got to have more things happening. It's time.
Okay. I think I said yesterday, like if Australia scored, scores, and India is pretty much done, and that's why the title of our today thumbnail is like India will be in trouble. It did not. It looks like Australia might declare by T and have a go on India. That's my take is.
Sure. Thanks.
I,
Thanks
I
for
want to
making. Yes,
I
Kaisa.
want to add on what Sajad said. There's another aspect of that too. It's not that Australia is not playing their best cricket. All around the world, the team has improved their cricket and their cricketing sense as well. So take it this way that nowadays every team is trying to copy them or trying to give their best performance, and they are coming up pretty good. And that's another reason. So Australians are looking a bit ordinary.
I think also part of that has to do with a team often follows the attitude of the captain that's behind them. Frankly, Tim Payne is apart from, I mean, yes, he's a good captain and has good camaraderie with his guys, but part of being able to dominate someone else is when you are just so confident in what you're doing yourself. Tim Payne as a captain has averaged 25 with the bat. I don't even know if he's would be on the team if he wasn't a captain himself, which is why Rishabh Pant had that joke way back about him being a temporary captain, right? And it just kind of became this entire thing. How much of confidence is there in Tim Payne being in his spot? I was actually going to ask Jeff that because he's 36 now. He hasn't done much with the bat in general. And obviously Steve Smith has kind of gone away from that. He's likely not going to be the captain. Maybe Labuschagne, but I mean, he's new to the circuit as well. So what does that kind of leave for Australia in its in how it kind of approaches it and its captain being kind of the leader of that mentality?
Before he answers, maybe Donald Trump can take up the job. He's good to rile people up.
Okay, I have a question. I want Aamir and Sultan Bhai to answer this question. Uwais Khan is asking, India will surprise Australia. Note my words. Are you noting down his words or do you have any other? Yes, Sultan and Aamir. Aamir, go ahead.
Yeah, I think they have the players, they have the batsmen to do that, but it depends on how much total they're chasing and what is the attitude of the top three batsmen when they come out. If it's 350 and above, I think it's going to be very hard.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's not about India chasing 350 in one day. It's the fifth day wicket that has to play the role. For giving that thought, I think it's very challenging, and India probably would be thinking about it. But I think Australia is very much secure at this position.
One
So,
sure.
last time in
Comes up for me as a follow-up, and I want to ask Jeff and Farubhai on this question. Seeing if what Indian players are seeing Australians bat, do you think they would be thinking and computing in their mind, maybe the pitch has improved?
Yeah, well, we talked about the two teams, and you've got two top teams playing against each other. So one team's going to crumble a little bit, but I just don't think India's bowling as well as they have been. Like they have an amazing bowling team. Like their bowling lineup's pretty solid. I just don't think this is the first time they haven't hit their lines, to be honest, in all series. Even in Adelaide, they bowled pretty well. Like I just don't think Sydney suited them, to be honest. But I think the fifth day is going to be key, and I think Lions huge on a fifth day. That will be the key.
Absolutely.
Like Ashwin's sort of just, someone who made the comment about Jadeja taking over his wind. You might be right. Like, Ashwin likes to get his own way a bit, and it just hasn't happened in this test. So he's struggling because he's not been able to dominate with the ball like he can. Like, he'll bowl 4 or 5 overs with dominance and then get a wicket, or he'll bowl 2 overs and get a wicket. It just sort of quite hasn't happened that way for him. So, but I think Rohan Sharma's Rohit's the key. And bat's the key for India. If he gets off on a flyer and gets in, and everyone bats with him, it could be close, right?
Correct.
So,
yes, Farooq.
Yes, I'll echo the same thing as what Jeff is saying. But the only thing is like, am I mute?
No,
we can hear you.
So like it's the same thing. But the only thing is like this: Australia is like in morale is really high right now, and the bowling attack. The main difference right now is the bowling attack between India and Australia. Australia is it's on a upper hand, especially I don't know the Pant is coming back on the next inning or no?
That's
Looks
what
like, yeah.
we heard. Yeah, that's what we heard. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really the key. But I think Australia had the upper hand because there's 71 overs left. Steve Smith looks really settled, and then that after that, I think after lunch they will have a go on the bowlers, and they'll try to
Okay.
score at least 350, 400 runs.
Before I go into my last two questions for the show, I want Mickey to answer this. Mickey, can you hear us? So Mickey Ovest commented this. I will give you some background. Ovest said India will surprise Australia. Note my words. So we did not note his word, but Rameez noted. Rameez said Ovest can not in this game. I think.
See,
Yes,
I
Mickey.
think well, I was just looking at the stats on Cricket Info that the last time any team chased a fourth inning target in Sydney was, I think, India doing like 280 or something like that. But any score over 300 was either a draw or a loss. So Australia should be targeting over 300. I don't think India's in this game at all, even though I'm an Indian fan. They would need definitely, like with what the panelists said, that they would need a quick start from Rohit Sharma, and then solidify in the middle with Rahane and Pujara. But I think the way Australia is bowling in this series, they'll take him.
Okay.
I want to add. We have not seen much of Cameron Green. Yesterday, I saw his couple of overs, and the commentators said it too, that he was touching 140 plus in a very casual way. And if if he does bowl more in the second inning, that could be a key factor, because the Stark is kind of off color. He's too much in the banging the ball rather than bowling into a full length.
Sure. So I have two questions left, and I will start throwing one question starting from Sultan. Sultan, when Australia is going to declare?
I'm very much thinking if they're at 350 by lunch, they will.
They will. Yes, Haris. What time? I'm asking about the time. My next will be the total, but focus on the time right now.
Yeah. No, similar to how Jeff had mentioned about just at the start of T, give him a little bit of a run around there, and that's it. And have at least 20 overs at them at the end of the day. That's the goal.
Jeff, similar question, but a little trick. Do you think Australia will survive till T?
Yeah, Smith's the key to that. He wants. I think he'll bat for a little bit longer, and then he'll blow out aggressive. You'll see he'll make 100. He'll go from 70 to 100 in about 4 overs. I believe. Okay. I believe he'll just explode, and then Green will play his game, and then they'll bat. They'll want to bowl 20 overs at him before stumps.
Sure. Faizan,
I have a question for Jeff. Do you think Stark should be sent up the order as well?
Stark,
maybe?
No, I just don't think he's in the test. He's just not. This is not his test.
This is not his test.
No,
maybe this is not his test.
Yeah,
this is not his test.
Jeff, he's playing like he's fasting.
Well, if he's playing like you do, Saji, he's good for a ton, man.
Sure. Okay, Faizan, what do you think when Australia is going to declare?
I think Australia is going to give India 25 to 30 overs tonight. So they have 70. They're going to bat 40 overs from here on.
Yes, Kasser.
I think they want to bowl at least around 25 overs tonight. But if they're in a strong position, I will not be surprised to see they bowl at Indian at about maybe 5 overs before tea even. And just to set them out of track or out of their planning.
Okay, Aamir, similar question, but a little twist on it. If India batted tonight 25 overs, tomorrow 90 overs, and if they have a target around 350, do you think it's chaseable?
It's going to be very difficult, especially given the form of Pat Cummins and Hazelwood. They're hitting the lines. It's not going to be an easy task. They have the capability, but as Sultan mentioned, this pitch is going to deteriorate further, right? So it's going to be an uphill battle.
Sajjad, same question, but a tricky thing. Do you think Australia have courage to give India short of 25 overs tonight because IPL draw is coming up soon?
No, I don't think, given the way Tim Payne seems to captain, I think they want to bat about half an hour, 40 minutes after tea, and then they'll go at them. I think though India will just try to survive till the end of the day in that situation.
Okay, Mickey, different question. Do you agree this Rameez comment? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Aussie.
Aussie, Aussie. Okay, my last question, since we already touched like 1
Actually,
hour. Farooq
my
bhai,
girlfriend's been sledging me. My girlfriend has been sledging me because she's Australian.
yeah,
So
she's Australian. Yeah.
we talked about sledging.
So you're going the Wasim
We
Akram
talked about
route.
sledging earlier. So
So you're going the
Yeah,
Wasim
yeah.
Akram route. Like whenever Australia or India are playing, we call them Shoaib Malik's in-laws and Wasim Akram's in-laws.
Muslim in-laws. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Farooq bhai, last question for the day. What do you think? What will be the target now? The target. So wait. I'm noting down everyone's numbers. Okay, close numbers. You can say 350 to 360, but not like 350 to 400. Whoever closed till tomorrow or tonight, surprise for him for tomorrow show. Starting from Farooq.
A score? I say the
Yes.
safest score is 375,
375. Yes,
including
Kasser.
including the lead, like including the lead.
Including the
375.
IPL and including IPL contract.
I said I'm on Jeff's side. Australians are pretty honorable people, right? They don't care about. They don't give a shit about
Yeah.
Apple contract and anything like that.
So 375. Yes, Kasser.
365.
365. Faizan.
Yeah, I would still say 380. Australia wants to give India 380 the target for tomorrow.
Sure, Haris.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm sticking with the fact that India won't even make the 250 or 260 lead that there is now. But since Australia is going to be batting until the end of the tea session, the lunch session, they're going to have 375 as a target.
Yes, Sultan.
Yeah, I think they will be somewhere around 350, the way they want to go.
Yes, Sajad. Then I will take Aamir and then Jeff and Mickey.
Yeah,
Yes.
365 is what I'm gonna say.
365. Aamir.
Yeah.
I would say 370.
370. Oh, you and Farooq are together. Who's
Right
going
now?
first? Jeff. Oh no, Mickey. Take Mickey. Then I will take Jeff.
I'm going 333. 333.
Oh,
Triple three. Maybe the lucky number. Yes, Jeff. What do you think?
So I'm not sure. I'm going to throw a wrench into it here. I'm not going to go a number. I'm going to go 20 overs. I think they're going to bat for 15, 45 minutes after and bowl 20, 25 overs at them. So whatever the score is with 25 overs left, that's what it's going to be.
yeah.
How's that? Is that okay with you, Max? Or not?
Okay, let's take this number. 25 overs is a number as well, but you played very well, and I'm sure when you were in 20s, you were.
So it could be.
Does he qualify for the
no
surprise?
No less than 350. How's that?
How about 350? Okay, my number
No
is
less.
my number is 340. They're not gonna score more than 340. Trust me. Mark my words.
So, quick question. So anybody knows like what is the highest total chased in fourth inning by any
280.
in Australia?
280, I guess. 280. I
Oh,
guess.
400 has been chased twice.
No, over here. Over here.
No, not much. I think 240. Anything over 300's no go. Right?
I think South Africa did in 414.
Yeah, there's been 2 400 chases.
In
And
part-
hang on, but we've got to talk Sydney day 5.
Of course.
okay,
Right?
Sydney,
There's a
Sydney
difference
day
there.
5. Sydney day 4.
Max, and
I
not,
even think 320's out of the mark, right?
Max, and not to forget, Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyons are going to combine for Australia's win.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
do Haris? I think. Do you know the number? How much is the highest
oh, ever? Yeah, West Indies 418, man. That was like
in
2002.
Sydney?
Yeah, but
In
that was
Sydney?
wrong.
Sydney. No, Sydney.
We're talking about only Sydney.
Oh,
because
no, I don't know the Sydney one off the top of my head, no.
Okay, I'm also trying
I
to
was
go
just
for
looking at the stat earlier. It was about 441 in Sydney.
Highest
was a
successful
max.
run chase is 288 by South Africa.
288.
Australia versus South Africa.
300 plus is going to be, and it depends
So
when did
whatever-
they declare,
That
right?
was Perth. That was Perth.
That was Perth?
Sydney.
That was Perth. I think it was Perth.
No, this is Sydney. 288 for 2. Australia versus
Okay,
South Africa.
288.
2000.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Because I'm
I
thinking
looked
about
at that.
400. I'm thinking about 400.
Yeah, no, my head was stuck at 280. So yeah, 288, 280. That's
Yeah.
what
Because
was
I know
going
in
on.
Australia somebody chased over 400, but that was in Perth.
Yeah, because
and Perth is a wicket that you would say you'd need 400 plus, right? Because it's just a belter.
Yeah.
Where Sydney's not, like
Only
the
for
moisture
Australia,
factors.
Jeff. Only for Australia and maybe for South Africa. Asian teams struggle there with the bounce.
Yeah, that's true.
Asian team specifically, Pakistan. You can say it, Bajaj. You can say it. Don't worry.
Before we move on, I think Aamir is right. Yes, South Africa chased 288 for 2 in Sydney back in 2006. 2006, yes.
Yeah.
So I think whatever, guys.
And not to forget, there was no drop-in pitches at that time. There was no drop-in pitches at that time. Drop-in pitches came in 2015. So that could still be advantage India if it is less than 300. It's 300.
So Faizan, I know your background is from legal thing, and you always have a supporting document to defend your statement. On that note, I will say goodbye to everyone. See you tomorrow, and I will say 340, and you guys overrated Australia because you think that Australia not going to defend this.
Wait, do I get a bonus gift if India don't make 260?
Yeah, and Max gets a gift then.
Guys, good night.
Thanks, Max.
My show.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you. Good night. See you tomorrow, and definitely India ahead.